My name is Dave Slyer, president of Local 474 from Fresno, California, United Steelworkers, and we're here to support the public sector employees. We feel that they have a right to unionize for collective bargaining, and we're here to help them any way we can.
Well, what's happening with your industry and workers with the free trade agreements and all the other things you're facing?
With us, the company has come back. They want what they call a supplemental worker. They want to pay them $10 an hour. They want to give them any benefits. They want to have like a two-tier, which is just another way to eliminate the upper tier. The company I work for is very, very rich, shall we say, and they're just money hungry. Corporate greed is all it is.
So what do you think about what's going on in Wisconsin?
I think it's sad. It's a sad day in America. I really do. I think people have the right for collective bargaining, and I don't think any governor has the right to tell them that they can't.
He thinks he's king, though.
Yeah, look at the kings. Look at the kings in the Middle East. They're falling one by one.
What does this have to do with Egypt?
There's some similarities. I think there's some similarities going on. But all in all, I support them, and I think we'll prevail.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's all about their agenda.
So why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Jim Staley. I'm the local union president out of the 9440 United Steelworkers.
And why are you here today?
Well, you know, we believe that what's happening in Wisconsin is just a litmus test for basically what they're going to try to do across the nation. You know, and if the people don't stand up and be heard and tell them, you know, enough's enough, you know, we're not going to stand for this no more. Our motto is, you know, united we bargain, divided we beg, and this is where we all have to come together to show that, you know, that it's not gonna, we're not going to stand by and let another state happen to them, and definitely not going to, you know, sit by and see our union brothers and sisters stripped of their bargaining rights. So,
well, they say that there's not enough money and that they don't have money to pay for the public services.
You know, I mean, you hear both sides of the story, but I've already heard that, you know, the unions have already said that they're going to make numerous concessions to try to, you know, offset some of the costs. But that's not what the governor is going for. The governor is going for to take away the bargaining rights from the unions. Now, the unions have turned this country around. You know, people don't want to ever acknowledge what the labor movement has done for this country, and slave labor and the 40-hour work week, and, you know, on and on. And, you know, we start knocking away at the unions, taking away the unions' power. We're going to go back to the when you have sweat shops and child labor, basically, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good. We got to have a TV channel. The Labor Video Project.
Excuse me?
Labor Video Project.
Oh, okay.
He's a very good guy.
Okay. Hi. Hi, Steve.
So what are you wearing on your head?
I'm wearing a cheese head, of course.
And what does that mean?
It's just because Cheesehead is the Green Bay Packers, and we're here today to support the people in Wisconsin who are fighting to maintain their collective bargaining rights. So I'm wearing it in support of the Wisconsin workers.
And what are you feel that they're trying to take away their rights as workers?
Absolutely. If you're saying that you're only going to bargain over wages, but you're going to take away bargaining rights for everything else, then that's just the tip of the iceberg. They're trying to chisel away at collective bargaining and try to get rid of it altogether. Then once that's gone, then everybody's at the whim of their employer.
And what does that mean to people in California?
Well, the same thing could happen to us here. I mean, we're fighting as teachers to maintain a standard of living, so we're already contributing so much of our personal income to keeping our classrooms afloat with our own supplies and things, and we're fighting to keep our pensions. We're fighting to be doing the right thing for children, and the same thing could happen for us. Our union also fights for the rights of the children in the classroom, to keep the class size down, to make things okay in the classroom. So the same kind of thing. We need our union to do those things.
Well, the governor and the politicians are saying that we're in a budget deficit. The states are going bankrupt. We don't have the money. You don't believe that?
That's baloney. Let's take a look at the subsidies for agribusiness in California. Let's take a look at the subsidies for other big corporations. Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the tax loopholes for the highest income earners of the state. Then let's talk. It's not about collective bargaining.
So you think the 84 billionaires in California should be taxed?
The what?
84 billionaires in California.
Just
Did you know there are that many?
I'm not surprised, because now 1% of the population in this country owns 25% of the wealth, and that's just wrong.
That's what this is about?
Well, that's why they're trying to bust our union. They want more at the top and less for regular people.
What's your name?
My name's Judy Brill, and I'm a teacher in San Leandro.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my brothers and sisters. I'm here
Modesto with the United Domestic Workers Union. And I am here today because I fear for the future, for my children's futures. Are we not to be a nation where we were given our divine human rights to have a life free from fears? Has our nation forgotten what liberty means? A basic right, political, social, and economic right that belongs to the citizens of a state and to all people. By our unions being developed, they have done nothing but help us maintain these rights. I believe Roosevelt said it best in his message to the Congress in January of 1944, in which it is sometimes known as the Second Bill of Rights. I believe he understood. I believe he understood people just as our unions do. And I quote him, "We have come to a clear realization of the fact that true individual freedom cannot exist without economic security and independence. Incestuous men are not free men. People who are hungry and out of jobs are the stuff of which dictatorships are made." In our day, these economic truths have become accepted as self-evident. We have accepted, so to speak, a second Bill of Rights under which a new basis of security and prosperity can be established for all, regardless of station, race, or creed.
Here, right? Scott Walker.
You guys, we can't
they could be, they're everywhere, and they had a plan, and they fanned out across this country, and they're in Ohio, and they're in Florida, and they're in Texas, and they're in Indiana, and they're in Wisconsin, but you know where they're not? California! And they're not in California because we kicked their ass. The nurses, that's very clinical. I just want to say, we stood together in California. We stand together in California, and we will never stop standing together in California. And because our fight isn't in California, except for a few Republicans who think they're going to try some bullshit, we'll shut them down so fast. You take on all of us. You take on all of us. You take on one of us. You take on all of us. You take on one of us. You take on all of us. I am so fed up. I am so fed up, and the nurses are so fed up with people who don't have health care, with people who are struggling to buy kids their books. This is just an insane country, and the right wing has had their say, and we're saying this is where we draw the line, brothers and sisters. We're in this with the Wisconsin workers, and we're in this with the workers across this country, and we don't care what the politicians in D.C. say, and we don't care what Scott Walker of the world say. We want to hear the voice of the workers in this country rise up, and tell them no more, 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 no more. I want to tell you that I am so disgusted. These public workers are this is the only place where women and people of color have gotten a decent break. So they have retirement. Good for them. They shouldn't give up one damn dime of that retirement. They have a living wage. They shouldn't give up one dime of that living wage. You know why they call it concessions? What's the first three letters in concessions? Con. And we say stop the con. Workers are not going to take any more concessions alive